This is Mark Ewens for the National Weather Service office in Grand Forks. This is the 2014 preliminary spring flood outlook from your weather service. Key points I'd like to bring out. Remember, overall, we all know it's been a colder than normal winter season, but the precipitation has generally been within climatologically normal ranges. Now, soil moisture is highest across parts of the southern Red Basin, lowest to the north. And this is due in part to the 2012 drought lingering and dry periods into 2013 as well. Overall conditions are drier than previous years. Now, the usual factors apply when we look at a flood outlook this far in advance. Soils and streams are a bit wet in parts of the far southern basin, otherwise pretty much near normal. Snow water equivalents generally running low south of Grand Forks and normal to the north. And the rest of the winter season and early spring season, well, it's likely to continue to be colder than normal. Soil moistures for areas south and southwest of the Fargo area, especially the North Dakota Wild Rice Basin, are running higher than normal, better than the 90 percentile. That means they're fairly wet. And again, this is an isolated area that's due to the carryover from heavy 2013 summer and fall rains. Now, base stream flows, that is how much water is actually in the systems under the ice, are running in the 25 to 75 percentile, which is pretty much normal for this time of year. Now, the snowpack is near the long-term normal, ranging from a low of 8 to 12 inches in the far south to 2 to 3 feet across the far north and northeast, with the highest along the Canadian-American border and into Lake of the Woods. Snow water is somewhat less than long-term, again, due to the much colder and drier winter air masses we've experienced. Water contents are generally running from 1 to 2 inches in the southern basin south of Hallstead, 2 to 3 inches from Hallstead through Grand Forks and Oslo, and then 3 to 4.5 inches north of Oslo. Of course, this early in the season, big unknowns, the rate of the melt once we get into the melt season, how fast it melts, how fast that water gets into the river system, additional snow between now and the start of the melt, rain at or near the melt time. Again, that climate outlook through the spring snowmelt period, we expect the current colder weather patterns to persist well into March and into early April. The precipitation signal is fairly weak, so that suggests normal snowfall and rainfall as we get into the remainder of this winter and spring. Now, how do you get to the outlooks? Go to the National Weather Service Grand Forks AHPS webpage, www.weather.gov/Grand Forks. Click on the Rivers and Lakes link over on the left side. Once you're there, you can click on the Experimental Long-Range Flood Risk tab up top middle. So there's the AHPS page of the Grand Forks Weather Office. There's that Experimental Long-Range Flood Risk link I talked about. I'm going to choose Hallstead. That brings up this little sectional that has the long-range flood risk for the Red River of the North at Hallstead. Here's a close-up of that. Now, this basically shows the percentiles of different river levels and their expectations. For example, climatologically speaking, in any given year, there's about a 50% chance of at least getting to 19 to 20 feet in the Hallstead area. This year, that 50% probability is somewhere right around 26 feet. There's about a 15% chance of the river getting into the moderate flood level and 5 or 7% chance of getting into the major flood levels. Again, check back in a couple of weeks because the next spring flood outlook will be issued on March the 6th, 2014. This has been Mark Ewens for your National Weather Service. Check back again soon.